we impact on that? How do we impact on student learning, engagement, and success? What is it really going to take? Well, we know that the path of effect is not always a direct one. We can't, for example, ask parents to send us different kids. We can't, for example, say things like, I really, really want a bunch of kids in my class who know how to infer already. It's really hard to teach. Dear parent, please send me a new child tomorrow that can infer. That would make my day so much easier. That would make my life so much easier. So we teach the kids we've got to the best of our ability, which brings me to the next circle in the middle, oval, which is really about a well-defined relationship that we have from a research standpoint. And that's the idea that suggests that if we really want to impact on student learning and achievement, we do it through the quality of classroom instruction and practice. That there is, in fact, no single bigger predictor of student learning and achievement than the quality of classroom instruction that kids are exposed to. And it's funny, you know, because when you ask a group of people, any group of people, a group of lay people, what do you think matters for kids? What do you think really matters? They'll often start with things like socioeconomic status, parental involvement, social capital. But in fact, it turns out that the quality of classroom practice that a child encounters has unmatched potential with respect to influencing student learning and achievement. What teachers are doing in classes with students on a daily basis has the greatest potential to influence the academic outcome of students. And in fact, the more challenged students are in social capital terms, the more true this is. And that's what matters most for you guys, as Mary Jean said this morning. There are some kids who will succeed in spite of us. They are lucky kids. They go to lucky schools. They come from lucky families. And there are other kids for whom, unless we add value through the quality of what we do in classrooms and schools, they have very little chance. I just flew back from Boston yesterday, where I was at the Mind, Brain, and Education conference, looking at the kind of neuroscience and brain-based biology connected to what we know about what we try to do in classrooms and schools. And I want to obviously caution you against applying too much of what we know about brain science to education, because we're not quite there yet. But that said, one thing that I can tell you is that we know, even at the level of our neurology, that what we do in classrooms in terms of high quality practice and instruction has no equal in terms of impacting on kids' lives. It is a mediating influence, particularly in those kinds of environments where kids are challenged. So let's face it, you guys matter the most, okay? That's the bottom line. Now, as Mary Jean says, the challenge is, well, how do you do it, okay? Because if, like me, you believe that most teachers, most of you, do the absolute best that you know how. You don't go into the classroom and say, persuasive writing. I have such a good lesson on persuasive writing, they don't deserve it. They're not getting my A lesson on persuasive writing. They can get my B substandard version on persuasive writing because that's what they deserve. You don't do that. You go in there and you do it to the best of your absolute ability. So the question then becomes, what if they don't get it? What happens if kids, or a subset of kids, bunch of kids, don't get it? Then what do? You do it again? You do it louder? You do it a few more times? What do you do? I write in the book about a teacher that we came across a few years back now who said, I'm an excellent teacher. I'm great at teaching fractions. I just don't know what to do when they don't get it. But that really is the question, right? What do you do when they don't get it? And that really defines the work that I want to talk to you about. Because as robust as the link is between the quality of classroom instruction and student achievement, and believe me, it's a well-demonstrated link in research. I always say to you guys, those of you who are interested in doing graduate work, pick another topic. We don't need any more work on that. We know high-quality classroom practice, student learning and achievement. Pick another topic.